Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit new. I'm going to be sharing my experience as a military spouse and giving that advice to someone else who might need to hear it. I've been a military spouse for 5.5 years now, and there's some things that I wish that I would have been told or knew. So I'm just gonna put this out there in hopes that it'll help someone else. I have paper down here, so if you see me looking down, that's why. Okay, so basic training. Something I always heard is the days go slow and the weeks go fast, and that is so true. It basic flew by, and I think that is because I was working a lot. Whenever my husband left, I worked up until like a little bit before he graduated basic. I also found out like 3 days after he left that I was pregnant with our first baby. So that was kind of hard, but I was focusing on just like taking care of myself, keeping busy, and I was staying with his family, so that was also super helpful too. So I definitely recommend staying just as busy as you can while they're gone, and also writing every day. Every single day I wrote my husband a letter. Even if I didn't even really have that much to talk about, I still just wrote him a letter. It really helped me. Sometimes it kind of felt like I was talking to him, and I know that he enjoyed like getting those letters too. Tech school. I moved to tech school with my husband. His tech school was long enough for me to do that to be put on his orders, and I'm not exactly sure exactly how many academic days it has to be for you to do that. But I moved with my husband, and I was about like 13 weeks pregnant, and it was kind of difficult. It was the first time that we had ever been away from our family completely. Well, I mean, he had already been in basic, but for us to be living out on our own and stuff, it was difficult. I was pregnant. Tech school was super busy for him. He was always like doing something there, and if it wasn't class, it was something else that they were having to do. So it did get a little bit lonely. I don't regret moving out there. If that's something that you want to do, I say do it for sure. I met someone out there, and I still keep in contact with her, so that was helpful too. They left shortly after we met though, so that was kind of hard, but yeah, I liked that I moved there. This is a big one. Put yourself out there. Wherever you go, put yourself out there to make friends. It makes wherever you are so much easier, and especially being away from family, having someone there is so important. And even like something outside of your house too, to keep you busy. When we first moved to our first duty station, which is where we still are now, I actually posted on a Facebook page basically just asking for friends, and I was so embarrassed, but I'm so glad that I did, because I have met a lot of great people out here by doing that. Some of them have already left, but I still keep in contact with them. And I've met my best friend out here, and I know that whenever we eventually part ways, because that's just military life, I know that I have like a forever best friend in her, and her family have like basically become our family. And it's been nice because we have like holidays and just all kinds of things that we can celebrate together, which make being away from your family so much easier. But I also will say, you always hear that military spouses form like such a tight bond because we have so much in common, and you know, this and that, and that is true. That is absolutely true, that you can form like great bonds with people. But I'm just going to say this: not everybody is above the high school drama. It still happens, so just keep that in mind. Okay, this one, I see this a lot, and it just doesn't necessarily like apply to our family, but I see a lot of people say like the military doesn't care about you, and that's just not always true. At least like in our personal experience, my husband's leadership has been so great out here. I mean, things like you want to go on vacation, or you know, things that aren't like necessarily dire things that you have to do, because of course like mission comes first, and if they need you, like they need you. But like just recently we went through a really rough pregnancy, and my husband's leadership was so great through the entire thing. they were just so great. That's really all I can say. They were great. They worked with my husband. They were always checking on me and our pregnancy, and there's been times before that they have just been really helpful for our family. And I know that that is not necessarily the experience that everybody is going to have, but please just experience it for yourself before you just instantly think that they don't care about you, because that just might not be true. And in some cases, maybe it is. Maybe you go somewhere and your spouse doesn't have that great of leadership and you do feel like they don't care. But that it's just not always true. So just experience it for yourself before you have that bad taste in your mouth. Be flexible. Have no expectations. Military life and anything could change at any minute, and coming into this, I didn't really have any expectations. I didn't really know what to think, and I feel like that has kind of made it easier for like not being disappointed. I mean, I will say, like, sometimes it is really hard because we could have a vacation planned and put the leave in and plan it with our family, and then they'd be like, oh, well, sorry, you can't take that leave, you know. Like, I still get disappointed when stuff like that happens, but you know, I feel like just being flexible is such an important thing to have being in the military, because you just never know what's going to happen. This is a big one. Make sure to take care of yourself, no matter what that looks like. If that's a hobby, if that's a job when you get to where you're going, just anything. My personal experience, I became a stay-at-home mom when my husband joined the military. It was just easier for us. It made sense. It was what I wanted to do, and we had the opportunity to do that, and I love doing that. But when I first started, it was really difficult for me to separate being a mom and a wife and myself. So in that, I lost myself because I was just so focused on having, I've always just felt like I had to be the best mom and the best wife, and that's all I was gonna do, and that's all I was focused on. But I think that it's so important to have something outside of that and to find something that fuels you. Like, I love crafting, home decor, like anything like that. This YouTube channel that I just started, like, I found things to put my energy into, and I just think that that's so important to have. Okay, last one. I know that military life is not for everyone. It's not a one-size-fits-all. I feel like it takes a strong person to live this kind of lifestyle, because it is difficult. There's so much that goes into it, and I understand that it's not for everyone. But my biggest piece of advice for this video, if you take anything from this video, I hope it's this: make the best out of it. No matter where you are or the circumstances or anything like that, make the best out of it, because you are there for however long your spouse signed. And I feel like you can either be miserable, or you can take the experience and learn from it and appreciate it. Like, the military for us has been so good for our family, and my husband and I had talked about this before he joined. We'd actually talked about it a long time before he joined, and then we kind of just like put it on the back burner, and then my husband came back to it, and he made this decision for our family to, you know, when he made this decision, we had good paying jobs and stuff, but as far as like a future, you know, we didn't really know what that was going to look like for us. We didn't have kids or anything at the time, and you know, he made that decision in thinking that that was, you know, a right path for us, and I'm so thankful that he did, because you know, we've learned so much, we have experienced so much, and it's just been really great for our family. And I strongly believe in wherever you go, and the military is absolutely what you make it. And then I also have something else to say, like, from one military spouse to another, you are important. Everything that you do is so important to your spouse, to the military. Like, just even supporting your spouse, it means so much to them, and I know that it like makes their job easier, which is great, you know, for the military. And I know that it's hard, because being a military spouse, people who are outside of that, they don't necessarily see everything that you do in the background, you know, so it's very easy to be looked over and feel like what you're doing isn't important enough, or, you know, anything like that. But I just want to say that it is. You are important. What you're doing is important, and just don't ever forget that. Don't ever get lost in all the craziness of the military life. But that is it. I'm sure y'all heard Layla in the background grunting back there, so I'm gonna go get her and I'm gonna end this video. I will be posting more military content because this is our life. We're about to move here in less than 2 months now. So I will be sharing that with y'all. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see y'all next time.